Hello, I'm ABX Toycat and welcome back to another History of video. This is a series I run on my channel where I take you through the history of a particular subject and let you know about all the cool things that happened along the way. And today I'm going to be tackling the biomes in Minecraft, because biomes are this really cool thing that didn't used to exist. Then when they did exist, there was just 2 of them in the game, and now, as of recording this video, there is now 61 biomes, more than 30 times more than when they were first introduced, and I think it'd be really cool to kind of let you know about the story and how that whole thing happened. So if you do like the video, please do like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like the history of videos. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's start talking about how biomes came to be, because before July of 2010, they did not exist. The game would generate from the same, kind of code over and over again, and it meant that although there was variances, there was differences when you walked along, for the most part, if you just walked for a certain amount of time, you would notice the repeating patterns. So the way Notch decided to fix this was with the 1.0.4 alpha, which came out in July of 2010, when he decided to put in winter mode. So winter mode just randomly picked some chunks every now and then and made it so, oh, they're covered in snow, you can get the new snow block, and oh, it's exciting and stuff. And again, it was kind of a nice upgrade from before, because it meant instead of just walking on endlessly, you'd find some snow every now and then, and things are kind of exciting like that. But the true change, in my opinion, came with 1.2 alpha. So just as a fun little fact here, winter mode actually came out in July, which is, obviously summer in Sweden, where Notch was developing the game, and then the new set of biomes, all the hotter biomes, came out on Halloween, which is, of course, was the colder side of the year. I don't know why things happen in reverse, but that's how things were, because the 1.2 alpha update actually introduced 10 biomes to the game, kind of removed the other 2, depending on how you want to see that, and it meant that there were now 10 separate biomes in the game. And you might recognize some of these if you played Minecraft console really early on, or if you played Minecraft PC before 2011, because although a lot of these biomes were implemented into the current version of the game, a lot of them are kind of like wild variants and stuff we haven't seen, and this was truly the last set of biomes to be removed. Anyway, just the key thing here is that they actually had the rainforest, the seasonal forest, the regular forest, and these 3 forests were remarkably similar. Again, they've all been implemented in a single forest biome today, but they have some nice changes, I guess. There's the swampland, the savanna, and the shrubland. Again, you can kind of see how similar these things can be. Then there's the taiga, the desert, the plains, and the tundra. So yeah, these were the 10 biomes that introduced the game with 1.2 alpha, and I really think this was a big point where things got exciting, because, sometimes you'd load in, you generate on a desert, you need to run from there to wherever else you're going. Sometimes you need to go to this biome to find that thing, and that was the first time this has happened in 1.2 alpha with a Halloween update of 1.2. So biomes only really became a thing towards the end of 2010, and that was kind of it for a while, until the 1.6 beta, which is one of the biggest stories when it comes to biomes, but it is just something I think we would brush over, so you can be like, so what is the deal with that? So you might recall there is something called the sky biome that was added to the game. This was in 1.6 beta, and it did have like these grand plans as to what it was going to be. A lot of people think, oh yeah, the sky dimension is still coming today, even though it's been like 4 years. Totally, that's happening. But no, the reality behind it is the sky dimension was going to be added. It's a whole new thing. It didn't actually work out as its own dimension, and it turned into the end. So the sky dimension from 1.8 beta eventually turned into the end biome, which is, because the end and the nether are both biomes, and that's just something I figured was worth mentioning, because a lot of people really do get crazy about the sky dimension. As much as I'd like to see it, it is actually just the end. Anyway, so let's move on to 1.8 beta, because that was when the current set of, or like biomes that are still in the game today were introduced, and when all of these biomes were kind of scrapped. Some of them were implemented in the current ones, and some of them weren't, because the 1.8 beta introduced the current set of biomes, which, as you all know, is stuff like the swamp, the extreme hills, the plains, the current forest, not all these 3 crazy forests that kind of do separate things. And basically, this was one of the biggest, kind of mix-ups the whole biome system, because it was part of the adventure update, and meant it was crazy to go explore, because there was new structures to find, and that was the 1.8 beta, so it made things more exciting to explore, and it was the last time that biomes were removed. That's just kind of a key thing, because you got to bear in mind, from here on out, it's just adding biomes to this list, and that's how we get to where we are today, because the 1.0 full release, just a little bit afterwards, added the tundra back, from the old set of biomes, except they kind of made it a whole new thing, and they also added the mushroom islands, so mushroom islands and mushroom island shores, which are arguably to this day the craziest biomes they've ever added to the game. A lot of the Minecraft biomes kind of have similarities to them. The mushroom biome obviously have mushrooms, and they have, purple mycelium, and I really do like the idea for a biome. I think of all the biomes that were added to the game, this is probably one of my favorites, because it's rare, but it's also super cool, and I wish, they would just do this, as a surprise, like, oh, guess what, we've got a biome that's, yellow, and they're, cherry trees, and there are yellow chickens, which are actually ducks. I'd be down with that. I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome, because, as long as you make it rare and you keep the kind of base experience cool, you can make these wacky things, and it makes it a really cool thing to find. When I find a mushroom biome, I'm pumped. When I find this yellow chicken cherry tree biome, I'd be pumped, and that's just something I think would be cool. Anyway, let's move on to the subject to 1.1 official release, shall we? Which is actually when they added the color transitions, because before that there was this really stark kind of like line where you could see literally where it transitions from, let's say, a swamp to a a plains biome because they have different colored floors, or an extreme hills to a desert. You could see very clearly the moment it happened. After that, they made it so it slowly transitioned over. Now it's a little bit harder to see the exact point when extreme hills comes a desert, and again, it just makes things look a little bit better, and it's something worth pointing out, because in 1.2, they added another biome with some very different colored grass. Again, a pretty cool biome in a lot of ways, the jungle biome. So the jungle biome was highly anticipated when it did come out in 1.2. I'm like, you know, as the updates went on, people started to like it less and less, and that's why they kind of adjusted it later. But yeah, the jungle biome was one of the highest biomes at the time, added a brand new type of wood, and it was pretty cool for a lot of people. So yeah, after that, there wasn't really any major changes being done to biomes until the 1.7 update. So because it had been quite a while since the last biome change, and because they wanted to just revisit the whole thing, give it some new formula, basically 1.7 was, of course, the update that changed the world, and it added so much. So they added the mesa biome, they added the roof forest biome, they added the mega taiga biome, they added the birch forest, they added the savanna, they added the extreme hills plus, the deep ocean, the snowless taiga biomes, and as well as all of that, they added variations for all these biomes, as well as a couple variations of existing biomes. It was like a massive update, tripled the number of biomes in the game, and that is where we are today. That is why there are 61 biomes in the game currently, and obviously that's just where we are right now. They're presumably going to add more, presumably not going to remove some, and it's kind of cool like that. But the other key thing that's worth mentioning is before this point, when there were just the 20 biomes, they didn't really have too much of a pattern going on. You could have, besides mushroom biomes having to be next to oceans, you could find a swamp next to your desert, next to another swamp, next to the snow biome, next to another desert. You know, there was no real pattern, and you'd often get crossovers between biomes that never really made much sense. So they officially added the temperature system back in because they'd experimented with it way back in the day, but the temperature system came back, and it is officially in the game as of 1.7, so it means that, you know, you only find the cold biomes next to semi-cold biomes, or you won't find the hot biomes next to hot biomes or semi-hot biomes, and it means that you'll never find a cold taiga next to a desert again. So if you have one of those right now, you're in a super rare club, and that's something worth mentioning. So with that said, that is the history of biomes in Minecraft. It has a pretty long history, but that's kind of that. If you did like the video, please do like it and let me know. Also, like the video if you want to see the yellow duck cherry tree biome, because if the video gets 10,000 likes, then I don't know. My dad works at Mojang, and he said he'll put it in the game. Like, trust me, I have no reason to lie here. Trust me. Anyway, but in all seriousness, yeah, please do like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this, including history of sometimes roughly every week, that you might just enjoy and see daily on your homepage. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. The next history off video will be covering some other game, or potentially be the history of Toy Cat, because that's probably gonna be the 500k special. Did I just spoil that? Maybe. Anyway, yeah, that's everything. I hope you all enjoyed it, because goodbye.